Diplomat talks as a messenger. Hello to the new government. Our 11th episode begins now.
I'm here for the meeting. Oh, I'm the first one here.
그럼 저희 초대장 먼저 볼게요.
Hello, Arirang Diplomat Talks. My name is Gustav Slamečka and I'm Czech Ambassador to Republic of Korea. I am very excited to invite your team to the embassy. I would like to discuss with you the Czech Presidency of the Council of the European Union and what it means for EU and Czech Republic versus Korea relations. Also, the new government in Korea creates more opportunities for even better mutual cooperation between our countries. Please accept my invitation.
그러면 사전 질문지에 대해서 답변 보내주신 거 한번 볼까요?
네. 한국이랑 앞으로 협력하고 싶은 분야로 에너지 얘기를 제일 먼저 해주셨네요.
그러게요. 원자력 발전이랑 수소를 꼭 집어서 이야기를 해주셨네요.
아니 안 그래도 얼마 전에 제가 뉴스를 봤는데 체코가 새로 대규모 원전을 지으려고 하는데 한국도 입찰을 좀 따내려고 하는 입장인 것 같더라고요.
근데 아무래도 이제 윤석열 정부의 주요 정책 중에 하나가 원전 산업을 좀 키우는 거잖아요. 그래서 이런 원전 수출에도 뭔가 적극적으로 참여를 하고 있나 봐요.
우리가 이전에도 한번 논의는 했었지만 원자력 발전이라는 게 에너지원으로서 좀 뭐 친환경적인 면이나 안전성 같은 것들이 좀 논란의 여지가 있는 산업이었잖아요. 그러니까 체코 대사님이 왜 특별히 딱 원자력 발전을 꼭 집어서 말씀을 해주셨는지 그런 게 좀 궁금할 것 같아요.
The ambassador mentioned AI and robotics, so I did some searching. And
찾아봤더니요.
I found that the word robot was first used in the Czech Republic.
그렇네요. 여기 보니까 체코 문학사에서 가장 위대한 작가로 꼽히는 카렐 차페크가 로봇이라는 말을 처음 사용했대요.
진짜 너무 신기하다. 저 처음 알았어요.
되게 잘 찾으셨는데요.
아니 근데 대사님이 로봇 기술이나 뭐 AI나 이런 쪽에서도 협력하고 싶다고 하신 거를 보면 이런 기술 관련해서도 체코가 강국일까요? 저는 잘 못 들어봤던 것 같거든요.
저도 잘 모르겠는데 대사님께 여쭤봐야 될 것 같아요.
또 답변지 보면 올 7월부터 체코가 유럽연합 의장국을 맡게 됐다고 말씀을 해주셨네요.
그 작년 9월에 또 유럽연합이 인도태평양 전략을 발표를 했다고 얘기도 해주셨어요. 근데 이제 이게 인도태평양 지역에서의 정치, 경제, 안보 관계를 강화하기 위한 전략이라고 하더라고요.
뭔가 이 부분에 대해서도 여쭤보면 좀 좋을 것 같아요.
Since we're meeting the Czech ambassador, why don't we learn how to say hello?
인사말.
Follow after me. Dobry den.
도구리된.
도브리덴. 기억하겠습니다.
Shall we go meet the ambassador now?
I'm such a suffer 가라앉지 않게 비틀거리다 가쁜 밤
토크님 아직 안 오셨어요?
아직 안 오신 것 같아요. 여기서 보기로 했는데.
아 진짜?
In a small park right next to the embassy, we decided to wait for Tok Tok.
휩쓸리지 않게 울렁울렁거리다
Hey guys, I'm here. Can you bring me out from here first?
아, 네, 알겠습니다.
Thank you. Did you all have lunch?
저희 안 먹었죠, 아직.
Can you look inside the bag then?
어머, 우와.
I prepared it for you. This is drudolnik, a traditional Czech pastry.
아니 이런 건 어디서 구하셨대요?
There are a few places that sell this in Seoul.
아, 진짜?
Here, try it.
모양이 되게 특이하네요.
너무 신기하다. 맛있다.
Doesn't the Czech Republic feel a little closer now?
아, 이거 빵 먹어서요? 그렇다고 할게요.
I'll charge the pastry price from the production budget later.
톡톡님 쓰실 제작비 없는데요?
What?
그거는 톡톡님하고 피디님 사이의 대화로 원만히 해결하는 걸로. 그러면 우리 가볼까요? 대사관에?
Sure.
자, 갑시다. 갑시다.
So let's begin our 11th journey with 톡톡.
I'm so excited.
And we finally arrived at the embassy.
Oh, Ambassador.
Hello,
Nice to see you
Jennifer.
again.
How are you?
Good. Very nice to meet you again.
And you brought Tok with you, such a precious guest.
And you know, you've met Tok or you've seen Tok.
Yeah.
Oh, am I already famous? Dobry den, Ambassador.
I see that you have already studied some Czech.
Yes, Tok actually taught me how to say hi in Czech.
Okay, very good. I'm very proud of you, Tok. So, why don't we go inside?
Oh, yes,
Please.
please. Thank you.
Everyone, this is the embassy. Oh, these are stamps commemorating 30 years of diplomatic relations. Oh, is this where the interview will take place? I'll bring the Korean and Czech flags. So, shall we start the interview now?
Well, Ambassador, we usually begin with an introduction of the country, but I thought we should talk about first the Czech Republic taking over the presidency of the Council of the EU. How would you describe the role and responsibility of the Czech presidency, and what are some of its priorities?
Yeah, indeed, the presidency of the Czech Republic over the Council of the European Union is now the main topic for my country. The program of the presidency was prepared together with two other countries, that's France and Sweden, because France was preceding and Sweden is following our presidency. We call it like a trio program, but it must be said that due to the recent developments in Europe, namely Russian aggression in Ukraine, that has brought some changes in focus, because we had to answer most pressing challenges such as effective support of Ukraine, refugee crisis, energy crisis, EU enlargement. And these all reflected into the 5 main priorities, our flagship areas of the presidency. So these 5 areas are managing refugees crisis and post-war recovery of Ukraine, energy security, European defense capabilities and cyberspace security, strategic resilience of the European economy, and the 5th, resilience of democratic institutions.
The Council of the European Union, led by the Presidency of the Council, is the legislative body of the EU, where legislation is adopted and amended, and policy is coordinated. The Presidency of the Council is responsible for identifying and prioritizing agendas and conducting meetings. It also represents the Council when meeting with external partners or other EU agencies. Each member state takes over the presidency of the Council in a fixed order for 6 months. Currently holding the presidency of the Council, the Czech Republic has emphasized that it will work hard for the security and prosperity of the EU during its term. It has also suggested cooperating with other democratic countries outside the EU to lay the foundation for upholding key values such as human rights, freedom, liberal democracy, and so on. The motto of the Czech presidency is Europe as a Task, which stems from the title of a 1996 speech given by then Czech President Vaclav Havel. Havel emphasized in his speech that the challenges facing Europe require careful and thorough reflection. He also said Europe must take responsibility for the world's environmental, social, and economic issues. Amid the Russia-Ukraine war, the European Union and the world faces another problem in the present day. In view of the horrors of war, the EU seeks to look back at its approaches based on the motto of the new presidency of the Council and urge responsible and decisive action.
The presidency of the Council has so many duties.
I think that Havel's slogan calls for responsibility and proactive decision based on values and conscience. He made this statement back in 90s. This was the period when all the European countries got rid of the communist regimes, and that was a period where we saw that democratic would flourish, and we can only think about how to improve the democracy, how to improve our lives. Now, unfortunately, after 30 years, we came to the completely different world, and now we need to act quickly because the situation requires so. So again, I mean, we can never take democracy for granted, and we need to work on it to keep it and to maintain it for our future generations. So this is reflected into the motto and also into the priorities of our presidency.
The EU last year unveiled its strategy for cooperation in the Indo-Pacific region, and I'm just wondering, as the Czech Republic took over the presidency of the Council of the EU, how do you think Korea and the Czech Republic, or the EU at large, can cooperate in promoting and bringing stability in the Indo-Pacific region?
Yeah, I have to say that our presidency has also external relation element. And one of the geographical focuses in this external relations element is Indo-Pacific. Main activities towards Indo-Pacific under our presidency will be political dialogue, connectivity, cybersecurity, and cooperation in space. And this is basically triggered by the fact that Indo-Pacific is really becoming the driving force of the world. And also the polarization of the world is causing more focus on this area from the side of the European Union. And we also know that Korea plays a very important role in Southeast Asia region, especially in terms of the relations with ASEAN. So EU is also looking to Korea as a bridge between ASEAN and the European Union.
So now, why don't we give a brief introduction about the Czech Republic for the new government of Korea as well as our viewers? How would you go about describing the Czech Republic? Usually the ambassadors give maybe 3 characteristics of their respective countries.
Thank you very much for this prompt, because as easy as it sounds to describe the country, it's, a lot of things come to your mind. So
right.
I'll start with the 3 characteristics of the country, which I think pretty much characterize our people and the country. The first would be the creativity and passion for innovations by the people. And I think this is quite important for having a good relationship, especially with a country like Korea, because I would also characterize Koreans as very creative and innovative people. The second characteristic, this is more about the country. I would say it's a safe and relaxed country, full of history and culture. I mean, the one thing which is kind of difficult sometimes for us to get used to is that in Korea, if there is an interesting place, you have always a lot of people around. This is valid for Seoul, but for any nice place. In my country, of course, if you go to Prague or the famous places like Český Krumlov, there will be bunches of the tourists. But then there would be also the places which are really beautiful, but you find solitude and very peaceful place. And this gives you some kind of very pleasant, relaxed feeling. And I was thinking about the third thing characterizing our country the best. Of course, I could say the best beer in the world. But I would rather say respect for human rights and quest for social justice. This is kind of feeling that people can take care of themselves, and they would like to take care of themselves, but they expect that their rights are respected by the others. And I think this is also quite similar to the mood which I can experience here in Korea.
South Korea and Czechoslovakia established diplomatic ties in March 1990. When Czechoslovakia split into the Czech Republic and Slovakia in 1993, Korea re-established relations with the Czech Republic the same year, and the two have maintained cooperative relations for over 30 years. On February 26, 2015, the two countries agreed to upgrade their relations to a strategic partnership, establishing Korea as the Czech Republic's first strategic partner in Asia, and the Czech Republic as Korea's 20th strategic partner. Since then, based on cooperation in a variety of fields such as AI, energy, and ICT under the strategic partnership, bilateral trade in 2018 amounted to $3 billion. From 2019, Korean tourists became the first non-Europeans to benefit from the Czech Republic's program to automate immigration clearance, demonstrating the strong relationship the two sides have maintained. During the Korea-Czech Republic summit held in Madrid on June 30th, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol and Czech Prime Minister Petr Fiala agreed to deepen the bilateral strategic partnership.
We have a lot of high-level dialogues. Just recently, on the sideline of the Madrid NATO meeting, there was a meeting between Korean President Yoon and our Prime Minister Fiala. Then just a week before that, there was the visit of MOTI Minister Mr. Lee to the Czech Republic.
And like you mentioned, one of the priorities for the Czech presidency was energy security. What's your evaluation of the current situation?
When we are looking at the energy, of course, it's very important to solve the current situation around the energy supply and these disruptions. But also we mustn't forget the green transition, because this must be going on at the same time. And if I look at the Czech Republic and Korea, we have a lot of similarities and a lot of similar challenges in that. Korea, Czech Republic doesn't have own resources, so we are also dependent on the external supply. We are also countries which have pretty similar energy mix, using nuclear energy. And also we have faced very similar challenges in terms of getting more renewable energies, because we don't have a seashore like Korea has that you can build the wind energy. But we also have limitations in terms of the sunshine, also the geographical structure of the country. So our energy mix will have to contain also nuclear energy and other sources in addition to the renewables. Then I must say that we've been also enjoying the relationship and the cooperation in the energy between the countries. This relates, of course, to the new tender for reactor in Dukovany, and KHMP and South Korea is one of the three main bidders. One of the things which we want to achieve in the tender is involvement of the Czech industry, Czech companies, and Czech R&D into the construction of the reactor. So there are already a lot of interactions between the Korean companies and the Czech companies, and between the Korean R&D institutions. Another challenge is the energy storage, because especially for renewables, you need to be able to store. So this is where hydrogen comes into the play. Hydrogen is also very important in transportation. And Korea, namely Hyundai, is playing a big role in promoting the hydrogen mobility. You know that Hyundai has a factory in the Czech Republic. Hyundai is also active in kind of building the distribution solutions, and hydrogen was a part, in addition to nuclear energy, one of the main topics of the recent visit of your industry minister. So this is all very exciting for the future and for the cooperation in the energy sector.
And of course, we cannot leave out the topic of sustainability. And I believe the Czech Republic rolled out what's called the National Action Plan for Clean Mobility.
Talk's quick facts. National Action Plan for Clean Mobility. Doesn't it sound like an ambitious plan? Talk will explain. NAPCM was created with the intention of expanding the eco-friendly car market to reduce car emissions and use alternative fuels. The Czech Republic made plans to increase the number of EVs and hydrogen-powered cars in the future to protect the environment. To increase eco-friendly mobility and related infrastructure, you need money. So, the Czech government created a support plan from 2021 to 2027. The Czech Republic's NAPCM has deep relations with Korea too. Hyundai Motors has agreed to support to develop the Czech hydrogen mobility industry. The Czech Republic's Special Plan to Preserve the Earth, National Action Plan for Clean Mobility. TokTok will also root for its success.
We have a very big automotive industry in the Czech Republic. We are one of the second biggest car production per capita in the world. And Korea has quite a presence in automotive industry. The Hyundai factory already started production of electric cars in the Czech Republic. And also we are looking at the cooperation with Korea for building the infrastructure, filling stations, charging stations, especially in hydrogen. So this is very important and very exciting, but also very challenging area. If you ask me what are the biggest challenges in the Czech Republic, if I can compare the status to Korea, I think that you do better on the share of electric and hydrogen cars from the newly sold cars, because the country decided to support to put more support into the infrastructure building rather than direct support for purchases of the cars. So this is something which will need the car. You also have to persuade the public about the cars, but with the increased mileage of the cars and getting more confidence, I believe that this will change as well.
I have a question. Another area that you mentioned was the implementation of the industrial robotics and AI. How can two countries cooperate in this area?
Yeah, I think that robotics and artificial intelligence are one of the decisive factors in the future competitiveness of the economy. But there is also, like, we have a special reason for robots, because this word is actually the contribution of the Czech language. This word was invented by the Czech writer.
I didn't know that before. And I got to know that while we were preparing.
He used this word in one of his books where actually he talked about the dangers of machines replacing people. And I think this topic is still very important also, and becoming even more important now and in the future.
Yeah, but that was very interesting.
Yeah.
The Czech Republic, already a manufacturing powerhouse, is working to transform itself into a leader in the technologies of the Fourth Industrial Revolution. First, at the government level, a variety of projects have been announced related to the Fourth Industrial Revolution, such as the Innovation Strategy of the Czech Republic 2019 to 2030 and the National AI Strategy. Also, in recent years, extensive infrastructure has been built for high-quality scientific research centers. In particular, the Czech Institute of Informatics, Robotics and Cybernetics, established in 2013, is playing the most pivotal role in the country's technological progress. In line with this trend, Czech companies are showing great interest in robotics and automation to improve productivity. As a result, the number of industrial robots in the Czech Republic had risen to about 19,000 as of 2019. The Czech Republic has been showing continuous growth in the ICT sector. The Czech IT industry has grown thanks to active investment and advancement by the IT service centers, data centers, and R&D centers of global companies.
According to data for 2019 from Czech Invest, there are about 35,000 IT-related companies in the Czech Republic, and around 150,000 people are employed in the IT industry.
And in these areas, we find Korea to be a very competent and a very good partner. But it's not that just we would like to receive from Korea, because we have already quite a good base of the specialists who are working in robotics and artificial intelligence. There are a lot of companies and R&D institutions and universities. There are about 1,000 researchers, 460 PhD students across 25 research labs.
Wow.
And I strongly believe that we also have something to give in this area. And I know that both robotics and artificial intelligence were a part of the negotiations between our industry ministers. And I also believe that this was the field which was highlighted at the high-level meeting between our Prime Minister and your President.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many areas in which the two countries can cooperate. I will be sure to pass on this message.
Well, thank you very much, Ambassador, for meeting with us again. And I do hope that you will be able to continue to work with the new administration of Korea really well, so that we can continue to improve our relationship, our friendly relationship that we have.
Yeah, it's also my wholehearted wish.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
Shall we go and deliver the message?
Mission complete. Diplomat Talks has delivered the message of the Czech Republic's ambassador.
Okay, I cannot read, but I believe you. Thank you very much. I already have the stamp with my name, so I will. This is my personalized item.
And I will see you next week.